Now, Manchester United have reportedly agreed a deal for Adrien Rabiot, and that's coming as a shock to so many. The Juventus midfielder is set to be the top of the list for Manchester United. Do not forget Marko Arnautovic as well, who played for West Ham at some point and now plays for Bologna, has also been linked to Old Trafford. But the latest report has it that Manchester United has reportedly agreed a deal for Adrien Rabiot. And we know quite well Manchester United have defensive, or rather midfield issues. Paul Pogba left, Juan Mata left, and they've not been replaced. Do not forget it's Lingard as well. So it's all Nemanja Matic as well left. So it's all about getting adequate replacement. And while the pursuit of Frankie de Jong has stalled in recent days, it's quite surprising they've gone for Adrien Rabiot. The big question is, does he solve, Manchester United's midfield problems, or at least to a degree, reduce the challenges they have there? That's a big question that personally I can't even answer. But we'll find out if the deal pulls through, and in the coming days there will be clarity in terms of other negotiations. Now, while the deal has been agreed, it must be said that it's not finalized yet, as both clubs still needs to trash out other financial details, and the player as well also has to discuss personal terms in terms of salaries, bonuses, allowances, among others. It will be intriguing to see how this transfer pans out. But if it does, it means that Rabiot would leave Juventus, having joined the club less than 2 years ago from Paris Saint-Germain. Well, it's time to take another break, and this one will be showing you highlights of a spectacular goal in the championship scored by Senegalese forward Ismaila Sarr, who plays for Watford. What a goal it was. Highlights of the Commonwealth Games right there just concluded, it must be said, ended yesterday, and what a successful hosting it was from Birmingham to host Commonwealth nations to that festival of sports. And for Nigeria, we have to talk about Nigeria because that's homeland. And for Nigeria, it was definitely a successful outing. In fact, the most successful outing of Nigeria ever at the Commonwealth Games, where we recorded 12 gold medals as well as 35 medals as a whole in terms of our medal haul. You had 12 gold medals, 9 silver, as well as 14 bronze medals. Now, talking about the gold medals, you have several standout performers, but probably top of the list, which is about the poster girl of Nigerian athletics at this point in time, has to be Tobi Amusan, who coasted home to victory, talking about the 100 meters hurdles in a games record of 12.30 seconds, rather. 12.30 seconds. You had Amusan Custom, the 4x100 meters women as well, which is on your screen, where they were also quite impressive, coasting home to victory in an African record of 42.10 seconds, and that's the 4x100 meters women. Talking about the quartet of Favor Ofili, Tobi Amusan. You had Grace Nkwocha, not forgetting Rosemary Chukuma right there. All 4 women made us proud. You had Esebrume is right there on your screen as well, jumping jumping to 7 meters. That's the long jump category, a leap of 7 meters, which is a games record as well. And for Esebrume, she was able to reclaim the gold medal she won in 2014. Remember, she won the gold medal in 2014, but couldn't defend the title in 2018 as she missed out on the game. So 8 years after winning the gold medal, Esebrume won it in style with, as I said earlier, a championship record of 7 meters leap, which is quite impressive. Beyond the athletics, you also had right there on your screen is our discus thrower, who also went home with a gold medal. I'm talking about Onyeka right there. So it was quite an impressive mix. When it comes for the medals, you had athletics providing most medals with 10 podium finishes, while wrestling came second in terms of providing medals for Nigeria with 7. For the weightlifting category and the powerlifters, we had several records as well. The likes of Adija Olarinyonye, I hope I pronounced that correctly, Adija Olarinyonye, Rafiatu Lawal, as well as Alice Oluwafemilayo. All 3 of them also won gold medals and also posting games records. That's the Commonwealth Games records as well. Talking about the weightlifters right there. Quite an impressive outing for Nigeria, and it must be said that we should be able to bank on this going forward to improve our athletics. Remember, you still have the Tokyo or rather the Paris Tokyo Olympics has come and gone, but it's all about the Paris Olympics. That's the 2024 Olympics, roughly 2 years from now, and the work has to begin now in terms of preparation for the Olympic Games in 2 years' time. We still have quite, a sizable, chunk of these athletes in their prime. Toby Amusan, 26 years old. You have Grace Nkwocha. You have Favor Fili, who is 22. Rosemary Chukuma. All of these athletes are still in their prime, and in the next 2 years, we should still be able to have them performing at their peak. So hopefully, the Nigerian Athletics Federation, in collaboration with the Ministry of Sports and Youth Development, will be able to put up, various preparatory programs and clinics just to ensure that we get the best of athletics. This is the time wherein our athletics is at its peak, and we should be able to improve on it further so that we dominate the scene for a while. Not just the African scene, but also the world scene. We have Ese Brume being a silver medalist at the World Athletics Championship. We have Toby Amusan, world record holder, world champion. We should be able to dominate more, and we hope that that will be the case going forward. Well, let's move away from the Commonwealth Games, which was successfully hosted. And by the way, the next edition, that's the 2026 edition, will be going back to Australia, and this time around it's the state of Victoria that will be hosting the Commonwealth Games come 2026. Let's move away from there now and talk about football, the round leather game, the opium of the society. For most football fans, it's all about the action over 90 minutes, but sometimes the transfer market also determines how well a team will fare over the course of 90 minutes in a match, as well as the season as a whole. So it's all about football transfers at this point in time. We'll start with Everton, and it's all about Kwadi. Yes, Conor Kwadi. Everton has signed the Wolves captain, or the former Wolves defender, on a season-long loan deal, and he will become their fourth summer signing after James Tarkowski, who is a defender, is centre-back precisely from Burnley, not forgetting Ruben Vinagre, also from Wolverhampton Wanderers, as well as Dwight McNeil, a striker from Burnley as well. So when you look at the stats, which is right there on your screen, the stats of Kwadi compared to Everton's defenders at the just concluded season, you can realize that he's definitely a marquee signing, as he's top of the charts in terms of tackles, duels won, interceptions, clearances, among others. He's definitely a top target for them. Moreover, he also eases the defensive woes of Everton. Remember, Everton lost their season opener to Chelsea at Goodson Park by a lone goal, and in that game, two of their defenders suffered injuries. Talking about Yerry Mina, who is a very, very important piece in the defensive lineup of Everton, as well as Ben Godfrey. Both players got injured, and that has compounded their defensive woes. It explains why they went for Kwadi, who definitely is a great signing. Made over 300 appearances for Wolverhampton Wanderers during a 7-year stint at the Molineux. Let's see how well he settles in at Everton Football Club. Well, let's move away from there now. Still talking about Premier League football and transfers. Let's talk about Wolverhampton Wanderers, and it's about Guedes, Goncalo Guedes, who has signed for £27.5 million from Spanish football club Valencia, and has been unveiled as the latest Wolverhampton Wanderers player. Now, he is a striker who comes in to augment the lineup, the attacking lineup of Wolverhampton Wanderers, considering Raul Jimenez is still battling with various injuries. Remember, he has been plagued with injuries over the last 2 years, having suffered a fractured skull at some point last year as well. So, excuse me. So for Guedes, it's a great signing. He's 25 years old, and the Portuguese will be looking to line up for Wolverhampton Wanderers as early as their next league match. So let's see how that pans out. Guedes coming in for $27.5 million. Pounds, I beg your pardon.